What's poppin', y'all? I told you I'd be back. It wasn't even 24 hours. It's your boy Silva here with part 2 of the Anime 101. And today we're gonna talk about the basics, the very, very basics. What is anime? It's funny because when I first envisioned this YouTube, this would have been the question. But it's deeper. It's deeper than anime because the easy definition is anime is just a shortened version of animation. And it stands for Japanese animation. So Japanese animation has had this industry in a chokehold. They've been doing great movies and series from the early 90s, even through the 80s, you know, if you think about Astro Boy. But if we kind of come into the 90s, you got stuff like Ninja Scrolls, you got, you know, the Princess Mononokes. For the longest period of time, Japan has owned the market. But now we have places like Korea who have been killing it with the manhwa. And they're not known as anime. It's actually called Hanguk Ani. I'm gonna put it over here for you. I'm gonna spell it out because I'm butchering the name, but it's not called anime. And just like I was saying yesterday, one of the better shows that's out right now is actually a Chinese animation, and they're also not called anime. They're called Danhwa. So this channel, it was originally gonna be about anime, but it's gonna be about anime, Hanguk Ani, and Danhwa. Oh my God. I wish they were all called anime, but that's just me being Western, I guess. Nonetheless, to put it simply, all three of these are just a media, a form of media, a way of conveying messages, a vehicle to present stories. It's not just one genre. It's literally like Netflix. That's why something like Crunchyroll or High Dive exists, because you can have one app that has multiple genres of animation. For instance, one of my favorite thrillers is Death Note, which was the first manga I read in high school. Pretty much follows a young high schooler named Light who finds a book where he can write people's names in it, and it will say when they die, or he can put when they die and how they die. Of course, he has a god complex, and it's a really, really good story, and it ends just the way you hope it does. Then you got stuff that's fantasy, like Demon Slayer, which follows a young man whose family is completely eradicated except for his sister, who is now turned into a demon, and he's just running around Japan, killing every demon he can, trying to figure out how he's gonna bring his sister back. Really heartwarming. Then you got sci-fi. You know, the things that come to mind to most people are like Gundam, you know, or Voltron. But then there's Steins, which is, you know, time traveling. You got butterfly effects and just the repercussions of what come along with that. And you got romance, like Your Name, which is like a Freaky Friday romantic twist. Essentially, a girl wants to be a guy in the city, and the guy wants to be a girl out in the boonies, and they happen to wake up in each other's bodies and find a way to set boundaries and communicate through messages and little things on their bodies. It's a heartwarming story. And then, of course, you got the horror, like Perfect Blue, which, bruh, that to this day, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. The themes about identity crisis and just what social media can do to people nowadays. It actually stood the test of time because it was made in the, I think, late 90s, and the message still stands for today. And of course, the best, which is comedy, where you got stuff like Psyche K and Gintama, which is the gold standard Gintama. You gotta have an understanding of Japanese lifestyle to a certain extent, or watch an anime or two, because they love parodies. They are like the Weird Al Yankovic of anime. And of course, my homeboy Fatty Rivers put me on to Cromartie High School, which was also really funny. It's like a slapstick high school show from Japan. Really good. But yeah, there's so many different genres. So there's something for everybody there. It's just a matter of trying to figure out what you're looking for and what you're in the mood for. It's not just ninjas running around or grown men screaming, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z is amazing, And I think that some people think all anime is like that or like Naruto when there's so much more. Because, of course, we're all here for the battle shonen anime. Like, if you love anime, more than likely, that's how you were introduced to it. So, never gonna besmirch that. But then, there's so many layers. It's like an onion, and you gotta peel it, and you gotta see all that's underneath. That's all I'm saying. So, there's also some misconceptions with anime. One of them is anime's for kids. And like we just discussed, there's so many genres that it kind of doesn't make sense that this would just be for kids. Yeah, go ahead and try to let your kid watch Berserk. Good luck explaining to the teacher all the things that they saw in that anime. You know, Lord knows if your child who's under the age of 14's favorite character is Guts, the upbringing he's going to have. It's not for kids. It's to put it simply, I wouldn't be watching Attack on Titans with my kids either. Think that it should be taught in school classes. I definitely think people should watch Attack on Titans in your senior and junior year so you understand the atrocities that wars bring. Highly suggest that for anybody over the age of 16. But there's so many anime, like, don't Google this, but High School DxD, not for kids, you know? It's not even for me. So just know that anime isn't for kids. It's for everybody. And I will do a video. I'll do a video that will explain the perfect anime for kids because I want to have kids one day and I want to sit down with my kids and watch some anime. But I damn sure ain't gonna let them watch Berserk or Attack on Titan or High School DxD. It's just not happening. No. Also, people, my one homeboy, he loves Korean drama. He's gonna get mad at me because I'm always mentioning him. His name's Carlos. I'm gonna just put it out there. His name's Carlos. He watches Korean dramas, and he recently watched Attack on Titans, and he was like, "Oh, I like it. I just can't get into reading subtitles." Which Attack on Titans was dubbed. The thing is that it's such a slippery slope because a lot of people don't want to read subbed, and I get that. I am one of the people who loves watching dub because I have ADD, and I'm doing more than one thing at once. And a lot of the times, I'm probably either playing a video game or I'm texting somebody while watching it. And when it's dubbed, it's a little bit easier to follow. You're not reading on screen. And one of the things that he mentioned to me was like reading can take away from the action portions. And I completely agree. Like sometimes I have to watch a show twice just to make sure that I caught everything that was going on, especially the story-driven anime. Sword of the Demon Hunter, I rewind Sword of the Demon Hunter like 30 times because I enjoy the action, but the story's so good and like they be moving, you know what I'm saying? They don't care that you're a slow reader. Like I should have paid more attention in English class. I'm sorry, Miss Gonzalez. Nonetheless, there's a lot of great dub out there. The thing is that I said in the last video, I'm 36, and I came up in the 90s. And of course, Dragon Ball Z has one of the better dubs, and so does Naruto and One Piece. But we all remember the classic Code Geass. And when I tell you, that is a top 3 anime for me, and I only watch it dubbed. But every time Nanali gets on that screen and says, "Lelouch," I want to bleach my ears out. It's not that bad anymore. It looks like they're putting a little bit more money towards the English dub actors. And the dubs, they just feel better. The voice acting is leaps and bounds from what it was 10 years ago to what it is today. And so that's one of the biggest things I have to say is that like, if you're worried about only being able to watch subbed, most of the better shows are being dubbed. Last thing about subbed, one of the shows that I've always wanted to watch was a show called Reborn. And I had to go down a rabbit hole because I've always wanted to find it dubbed, but it's not dubbed. And I went on Reddit and I found out that the reason it didn't get dubbed is we have to remember that they have to monetize these shows. And they couldn't find a way in the American market that this show would sell because there's a big change in the theme and the tone of the show midway. And I guess the people who greenlight these were like, I don't know how we're gonna keep the audience on board when it switches so drastically halfway through. So if you want to get to the real good gems, I'm sorry, you might have to do some reading. I had to read most of One Piece. Only recently did they decide they were gonna rush the dub because all these people loved it. But 5-10 years ago, no, you were reading all the One Piece sub. These new gens, they don't understand what it's like. They don't know. They don't know. Pop Pop's here to tell you. Pop Pop's gonna school you to game. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. You might not know where to start. And that's why I say hold your horses. That's the next video. I'm gonna give you a starter pack. Depending on what you're looking for, I'm gonna give you the perfect set of anime for you to look into. Whether you're a big fan of Marvel or you hate magic and you just want to see what it's like for the average person in Japan, or maybe you're into historical dramas. There is something for it gets so niche. Like there's literally an anime about what was his name? My boy, Kong Ming, Zhuge Liang. They have an anime about Zhuge Liang from the War of Three Kingdoms. Like, it's so niche. There's so many animes based off of Arthurian legends. Like, it runs so deep. So, on the next video, we're gonna go into the anime starter pack. But for now, we're still laying the groundwork. We're creating a nice base. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will our Japanese, Korean, and Chinese empire. It's gonna be marvelous. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna make things great again in the animation world, in the Danwa world, in the See, I said I wasn't gonna do it again. You see? Damn it. Y'all be getting me, man. But with all that being said, that was another Anime 101 with your boy Silva. And I implore you once again, if you got questions, if there was an anime that you just couldn't wrap your head around, or you love this one anime and you're just like, dude, I cannot feel feelings anymore because nothing will make me ever feel this way again. I feel your pain. That was me after Attack on Titan. But there's more. There's so many more out there. Leave me a comment. What do you need help with? I'm here. I'm not a doctor because I'm allergic to doctors. Me and them never got along when I used to sell watches. They're just too smart. I am a Sherpa. I'm here to guide you. We're gonna walk you through the desert or up the mountain, and we're gonna get to the peaks of fiction. So let me know your questions. Let me know how I can guide you, because I'm here for you. My shorts, they're a little bit more for me. This is for you. This is for you. All right? I'll be back tomorrow with the starter animes for you. Until next time, Silva out.